Hi guys, it's me Peter, and it's the start of my new show, A7! Woohoo! Hi guys, and it's another episode of A7. Today we'll talk about hazards in YouTube. Well, Hello guys, and today we'll play some Sims 2. Now the reason I'm not playing Sims 3 is because Sims 3 is, I kinda like better Sims 2. It's nostalgic and I really like the game. And plus Sims 3, I'll go over to the other side and yeah, it's really nice.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Black Cloud Retribution. Now last time we did this. Hello everyone and welcome to another Team Fortress 2 video. Basically here we are, and let's just let's showcase some new goddamn features, okay?
His name is John C.
That's our target. We are going into order, you stupid mother.
And I was trying to shoot guns at Russian immigrants, and they're rats, right? Not known for their sense of fair play.
Baby, go home, man. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck are you doing up? The baby said, I'm selling weed, nigga. I said, oh.
Give me the fucking arrow and we could be snorting coke off of Trisha's titties, please, Bruno!
Yes. CBT'd into oblivion. Shut the f***.
You can do a lot in 10 years. You can do a lot better than a fucking shitty YouTube channel. But nevertheless, here we are. This channel was founded on July 28th, 2011, if I'm being correct. But we're not only celebrating 10 years, we're also celebrating 3,000 subscribers. And I know people don't think that's a big number. People want something like 3,000 or 3 million. And granted, channels have gotten much bigger numbers in a much smaller time than a decade, but for me personally, I think this is a milestone worth celebrating, even if it might seem small. And the way in which I like to celebrate it with you is going through the channel's history, much more in depth and behind the scenes than a casual perusing of my YouTube channel page, almost like a waterfall where you see little droplets of shit, and then they go down. But you know where the like liquid diarrhea hits the ceramic part of the toilet and just sort of dribbles, spews down, and when the lower you go, it goes into this deep pool of shit. Yeah, sort of like that. Overall, I'd say my YouTube channel is very easily categorized into 4 separate periods, or arcs, if you're an anime watcher, which, unfortunately, statistically, you probably are if you're here watching this. You're gonna have to excuse me if I ramble on about. There's a reason I'm a decent editor, and I do good at scripted videos, even though I hate fucking writing scripts. And this feels a little bit unnatural to me. Oh, I guess I really am not that different from, like, the A7 videos, unfortunately. 10 years does not go a long way in fucking talking like a normal human being and not having pauses every 2 seconds. You can't see it. You can't fucking see it. Because I'm gonna cut it out, obviously. But rambling on, that you can't cut that part out. You can try. So, let me take you on a journey on these 10 long years. Because, like, think about it. In these years, there have been there have been like 7 Yakuza games that came out. 1 whole Elder Scrolls game! And 1 new GTA. Oh boy, that kind of puts things into perspective, don't it? All goes to show you that 10 years can be, depending on the context, a very long amount of time and a very short amount of time. Nevertheless, enough fucking rambling. You have already clicked off the video. Let's go. The first period, I would say, from 2011 up until high school, which was 2014 around that time, was the, I guess I would call it, innocent era of the BasedPeter channel. Some people will be aware of the unfortunate fact this channel's name was not originally BasedPeter. It was Epic Ninja Nerd 7. Yes, I know, make the jokes now. Some of you have already made them. 10 years ago! The reason I call it innocent is because I tried becoming a YouTuber. Well, let me put it this way. You know how you used to watch all these Draw My Life videos about successful YouTubers and stuff like that, or 1 million podcast celebrations or whatnot, and they'd say, wow, I never expected I'd be this big. I wanted to get big. I started making YouTube videos because I wanted to be a big YouTuber. I believe, like every fucking 11-year-old, I believed I had something that other people didn't. And I could make way funnier videos than those popular guys, mainly because in 2011, the, I guess, bar was so low. The popular YouTubers really didn't do anything special. Nowadays, the popular YouTubers have whole fucking teams behind them, which is making it really fucking hard to get big on YouTube. So, it's even harder to start out now than compared to 2011. My main inspirations were people like Ray William Johnson, Shane Dawson even. Yeah, I watched Shane Dawson for a time in like fucking 2007, and I really liked those. I think I was actually mildly autistic. I'm not even joking right now. The thing is, the main aspect that characterizes this whole era of my channel is the fact that I would think of anything just to make a video to get famous, you know, to get views, and none of them did. Thank fucking God. We'll see why that's a good thing in the long run. But thank God none of them did, because that would characterize me, and I would be rewarded for doing the least amount of effort and making the most generic content possible. That's horrible. That's a horrible thing. And the one good thing about struggling with the opposite of success on YouTube is that you try new things, and we'll see that later on. My main point being that this era of my channel started with my first video, which, funnily enough, is not A7 Episode 1. My first video was on a MMO called Free Realms. If anybody remembers them, you're the real G. It was literally because I had no recording software at the time. I used the the game's pre-built YouTube video recorder, but I further on deleted that video for reasons we'll go on later on. There's not really much to say about this era. Very amateur-esque videos, characterized by not knowing any better. Because it's like a fucking 12-year-old, right? You can't be angry at a 12-year-old for going to Legoland in Germany and shooting videos excitedly about Lego. Right? Coincidentally, those are my most popular videos for a time because they had a purpose. You know, it wasn't some schmuck who was too poor to buy enough Lego to make a decent set, showing off like, look, I used all the bricks I had and I made something that moved. It had sliding parts. That was fucking awesome. So yeah, on to the next one.
Oh yeah, baby.
The next era, I guess, you could characterize by calling it the MVP era. What happened here was a very major inspiration. This happened a few years before high school, which is why I started to make, more consistent videos. Not necessarily better videos, mind you, just more consistently shit. The same kind of shit. I was really actually inspired by the late Total Biscuit, John Bain, because the consistency and quality of his videos, the uniformity of every one of them, down to the thumbnail, really inspired me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck, all this is embarrassing. I should delete all these old videos and I should start making consistently gaming videos. And you can see that in the Hearthstone reviews, I think. The early ones I did, because I think they still have a modicum of professionalism to them. even, after all these years. And so at one point, it literally was like, okay, this is trash. I should delete these. That was a mistake, because nowadays I really would like to dig these videos up and laugh at them or show them to friends. I should have privated it, but no, I fucking deleted them, which I guess in a sense was, setting that choice and setting that decision in stone, I guess you could call it. The reason I call it the MVP era is because that's where I met Bobby, my best friend, in high school. And he had a YouTube channel by the name of MVP. Now, he would not like me telling you what MVP stands for, but unfortunately, he's not here right now. Back in the day, I had around like 30 to, I think, 100 or 50 subscribers, something like that, Mark. And he had like 900, and I was like, whoa, man! Holy shit! You're like a YouTube celebrity, I want to be just like you. And I was feeling down about, oh wow, I'll never be like this guy. He's tall, he's popular, with people in high school, and his YouTube channel is much more successful. Keep in mind, not because he had good videos. Holy shit, his videos were... It was reassuring how equal to my gaming videos they were in terms of lack of quality, but he was just more consistent, which is another tip I'm going to give to people who want to get into YouTube. Consistency. More than anything. More than quality, more than length. Consistency. For better or worse, that's your ticket to views or whatever. The MVP era was characterized by the fact that I started editing some videos for him. Unfortunately, later on, he was like, I don't want to fucking do gaming videos anymore. And I was like, well, I want to do videos, what's all this studying stuff? I want to do fucking YouTube videos. So, on the MVP channel, we did a lot of videos with a couple of friends from high school. Unfortunately, only Bobby remained out of all those friends. The rest died in horrifying ways. Which is my way of becoming, they didn't want to associate themselves with autistic men children on the internet, which, they're dead to me, so whatever. It was teenage fun, that era, and you can sort of see that because, I guess another name for that era would be the MLG era, because I too, around 2014, 2015, started making fucking MLG edits, and for as stupid as they are, and as memey, and as loud as they are, it's fucking died. One thing I will tell you outright, they teach you good editing. I learned how to edit because I made those MLG edits, and they're really really fast paced. They're really intense, frantic, and you have to learn to edit all these things because you can get a feel for it when it's really fast and one after the other. Even if it's ridiculous, even if it's stupid, you can really get a feel for those things. So that's another tip. Tip number, I don't count. Even really stupid things can really help you edit. I literally did not look up tutorials. I learned how to fucking start editing with MLG montages. And obviously my inspiration for this would be mainly Pyrocynical, Snipers, Podal, which I think used to be Blazing Scrubs. Podal's really good. You should fucking check him out. By the way, I still laugh at that thing from time to time nowadays. You might even see it in my humor a lot. Loud noises, some, edits and stuff like that. And for those who say loud isn't funny, around high school, a little bit later on, I discovered this little thing. Unfortunately, mostly because of the memes. I don't genuinely... Oh yeah, I remember. I like the ending. Because I started liking prog rock around that time. Yeah, it's a little thing called... As you probably are the most familiar with, this is my JoJo phase. Coincidentally, it's also, I think, my longest phase and my most successful phase. The reason I started making YouTube videos again, I was like, fuck this. None of these videos, except for the MLG ones, had gained a modicum of success. And by modicum of success, we're talking like, I think MLG Feminism had like 3,000 views, and I was like, holy fucking shit! And I was proud, it's cool for that. It was around 2016 where I discovered JoJo and I started watching the anime and then the manga. And right around, I think Diamond is Unbreakable was getting at the time. I really liked it. And I started browsing the A forums on 4chan. I should probably not fucking say this, but I started posting my videos there sometimes because I just wanted to make an anime manga music video about Part 7. Because I really like Part 7. Part 7 is fucking great. And that's how Weka People vs. Gyro came about. Just from an idea. And over that summer, I was just like, hey, that would look cool. I didn't think about how fucking long it would take. I didn't think about how much time it would take. I just started doing that. And coincidentally enough, JoJo was around its peak in popularity around then, so my videos started getting like actual traction, like tens of thousands of views or even hundreds of thousands of views. And one day, I was just fucking about, I had this idea. Hey, the Derby fight has a race in it. Wouldn't it be cool if I put some Eurobeat music over it? But like, not just Eurobeat music, right? When you have this sort of anime thing where it's not just slap a beat on there or slap a soundtrack on there, just make sure it's muffled at certain points when the characters are talking and whatnot. And I was like, I did this before school and then I went to school, right? And then a couple of days later it had 1 million views. And that was sort of a real turning point, because even though you have this thing with YouTube inflation where sort of 1 million views definitely is not what it used to be back in like fucking 2012 or whatever, it's still a pretty big number, you know? Still 1 million views. And there was a certain bit of disappointment at this, because this was probably my peak in terms of viewership. And you can sort of see around the videos around that time have tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of views almost consistently. I was never consistent, but almost consistently, let's say. And from there on, even though my JoJo Initial D videos started getting better in quality, I think every single JoJo Initial D from the first one on to the 5th is subsequently better. They incrementally got less and less views, and that was really kind of depressing for a moment. And around part 5, because there was this lull, right? Because my channel at this point had become JoJo videos. And everything that was not JoJo, including my 3 failed podcasts, was doing like horribly. Like genuinely horribly. And that sort of lull from part 4 to part 5, where you don't have like any new content JoJo-wise for about a year and something. You can definitely tell, and I'll be the first one to admit this, if you were wondering around part 5 why the fuck is there like a bunch of JoJo videos that they're like just chills that blatantly obviously have nothing to do with the content I usually do, and are just, by the way, here's some fucking JoJo shit, watch it, keep channel engagement. It literally is. It literally was about channel engagement. And it was horrible, because I knew that those videos were kind of necessary if I didn't want my channel to fucking stagnate and die. But I had no pleasure in making them. Like, specifically the JoJo remixes of whatever, Vaporwave and, anime, chipmunk version, or whatever they call that, garbage music. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. That was purely a cash grab. It's kind of obvious, but I'll be the first. I will say it live on camera. I apologize. I shouldn't in this video. And I sort of stopped giving a shit about the JoJo stuff, mainly because they were getting subsequently less and less popular, mainly because JoJo YouTubers started to become started infusing their videos and personalities with ungodly amounts of cringe, and I did not want to be a part of that, because every single time I would say, oh, what do you do for, YouTube channel, what do you do? I make JoJo videos, and I would see their facial reaction and sense that little click in the back of their head saying like, oh god, is he another I'm gonna cut that part out, but you know who you are. At that point is a major, I think, turning point for me, and you can see it in stuff like, I was working for a long time on a part 8 MAD, or manga music video, on Jobin versus Gabby, or Josuke, come on, like, everybody calls him Gabby. Josuke's such a stupid name, because at least Johnny and Jonathan are different. It's literally just 2 Josukes, whatever. And I just gave up, because it was a really ambitious thing, but compared to the first MAD, which was the part 7 one, nobody actually would see it. Nobody would watch it, because there was a handful of problems. First, that I had to color all the scenes, because part 8 did not have colored scans at the time, and stuff like that. And the second problem, that nobody was really excited for it. So all my fruit, you kind of tend to feel underappreciated. And I'm aware that people want that and whatever, but it really, you just keep hitting a wall, and nobody's there to watch you hit that wall. And you might as well hit a wall if there's someone watching you. Otherwise, you're just literally hitting your head against the wall. This isn't a really good metaphor. Which leads us to our 4th and final era of Peter. Around the pandemic, I started to realize that I had always put out the excuses. oh, I'll do this ambitious thing when I have more time, right? I'll do this thing when I have more time. And then the pandemic hit. And what happens then? You're home for like half a year and you're like, oh my god, it turns out I've been fucking using this as a crutch, as an excuse, because I have all this free time and I've done jack fucking shit. And there was this little game called Helltaker that obviously I mentioned in the review how I discovered it. I don't think I have to repeat myself. But I was like, huh, this is a short little sweet game. I might do a little funny edits. Oh, there's enough funny edits to make a whole short video out of this. And I really like that. And this area, I was mostly inspired by Seth, which, I mean, is kind of obvious. But then I wanted to put my little twist on it, or review games in that sort of style that he didn't cover. And for the first time in a long while, I started liking making videos again, which is why they took longer. But these are the first videos in a while that I was pleased with. You know, I was actually proud to show people. And it really cemented this idea that you really should never, ever, like, I'm a very good, I think, example of this thing where you should never make something that you don't actually care about. Because there's really popular YouTubers who say that, and it's easy, right? Because, like, yeah, you might not get 10 million views if you don't do this content, but you might get 100,000 views. You'd still have someone watch you. Comparatively speaking, the reviews I make nowadays get like 2,000 views or 3,000 at most, which is pitiful numbers, right? I don't care though. I literally don't care. I don't make money off of this. I have a Patreon, right? But very few people actually care enough about it. I deeply appreciate the people who donate to me on Patreon, but I would never, like, I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself, and at the end of the day, I'm not getting any views otherwise. I'm not making money off of this. I've said this multiple times. I would have to delete my most popular videos if I were to monetize my channel, which is stupid, because I don't do it for the money. I do it for the videos, or for the stupid jokes. In conclusion, I think that is a very good example of someone who is not a hypocrite, right? And a good example of why you shouldn't do these things for other people. Because at the end of the day, my philosophy on YouTube is very simple. You could be really good at what you do. You could have a lot of subscribers. But let's say hypothetically, you go outside and a car fucking hits you, you die, right? Would your videos be able to be replaced? If you're a vlogger, if you're, like, let's say a beauty YouTuber or whatever. I don't want to insult anybody in particular, but I think it gets the point across. Yeah, they might not make videos exactly like yours, but, you know, if someone wants to learn how to cook or, you know, see what a rich person's day is like, you would have tons of different people on YouTube to look for. But someone like Seth, for example, and I don't mean to say I'm on the same level as him, Seth is fucking great, but, like, let's say I go out and get hit, right? Which, coincidentally, the day we're shooting this is the day I got my driver's license, so I think there wouldn't be videos like mine made. And I'm not saying this because, like, oh, my videos are fucking great. No, they're autistic, oh well, thanks, right, and stupid, and loud, and painfully unfunny. But what I mean is, I guess the lesson in all this I'm trying to say, or implore in people, is that there is no guarantee you are going to be successful. Like, let's face it, statistically speaking, there are more videos on YouTube getting uploaded every day. What are you doing? What are you doing? There are more videos uploaded on YouTube every day than any single person can watch in his entire lifetime. The numbers aren't in your favor. And, you know, the YouTube prioritizes things that they shouldn't, but there is no other way. What you can do is make videos that are unique to you. Funnily enough, a lot of people on YouTube start off saying, oh, well, I started off small making videos for my friends and stuff like that, and then I hit it big and whatnot. I'm the exact opposite way. I started wanting to be a big YouTube star. Even the videos I made along the way that got popular. Like, yeah, I'm an obsessive, nagging piece of shit, and so all my friends eventually got into all my interests, like JoJo and Yakuza. But nowadays, the videos I do are actually for my friends. You know? The reviews, the memes, the serious videos about video games. Nowadays, I can actually sit by and watch them with my friends, and they'll laugh and they'll understand because, yeah, they're based on a specific topic, but they're general enough for the jokes they will get and they will laugh at. And I've made a lot more friends on YouTube who have helped me throughout the years, and especially nowadays when I try to be more considerate and I try to actually do videos that I I give a shit about. I've made a lot more people happy. In fact, with every funny enough fact, with every new review I've uploaded, I've had friends on Facebook or Discord, people I've known for some time, but I've never really chatted with that much, just straight up tell me, I really liked your video, I've become a patron. And even though, like, in the grand scheme of things, I got a job and that's not a lot of money, it means 10 times more than my actual salary, because I know I've made a video with enough heart, with enough uniqueness, that they've actually decided to send some fucking Bulgarian their hard-earned money. That's baffling to me, you know, that's wonderful and insane. And I mean, if I were selling the channel as an idea, as a product, which we shouldn't do, right, because we discussed it, but hypothetically, if I were, I'd say something along the lines of, here's some great reviews from these satisfied customers.
I met Peter on a cum enthusiast forum. I was a small timer looking to break into YouTube, a nobody, and, well, I needed a fresh supply of cum for my work. So I DM'd him and he said that he could hook me up with some grade A stuff. Unfortunately, when the stuff arrived, it was low quality at best. You know, Europeans, they tend to think that us Americans can't tell the difference between an Aryan's cum and the gypsy that they beat in the alleyways. But the difference in quality is like night and day. I threatened to expose him and we settled that I'd drop it if he sent me some of his cum to compensate. And we've been best of friends ever since.
BasedPeter. What a fucking lad, am I right? Yeah, I don't think so. Jokes aside, I'm pretty glad my man BasedPeter was able to reach 3,000 subscribers. Because being a small-time YouTuber means that hitting such a number is a relatively big milestone. So, to commemorate this occasion, I'm gonna spend just a minute, or maybe two, talking about my personal experiences with the man. But before I do so, I need to put on something that's a little bit more snazzy. Yeah, something like this. So, the most recognizable aspect about Peter is that he's very dedicated when it comes to his work. And I can personally attest to that. And the best example I can provide is when he made the Fallout New Vegas video. Basically, he wanted to upload the video on the 19th of October to commemorate New Vegas' 10th anniversary, since that's when the game came out, on the 19th of October 2010. But the guy only had a few weeks to get that shit done. And I even pester him every day like, dude, you got about 10 days, now you got 8 days, man. Come on, the clock's ticking. But guess what? The mad lad fucking did it. I mean, this is now the philosophy he carries with himself every time he makes a new video. He thinks of an idea, he visualizes it, and when he has the free time to work on it, he just sits down and grinds that shit. The man himself has told me that sometimes he would spend 3 days, maybe even more, just working on a video, making sure it's perfect. And he does that, just so that he can deliver the funk to you. All in all, I'm very glad for Peter, man. I mean, that guy is very ambitious when it comes to his interests. It doesn't even matter if it's about the videos, like, or whatever else. If that guy wants to do something, he just frees up his time, sits down, and dedicates himself to it. And that's very inspiring. I know a lot of motherfuckers, including myself, when they're stumped with an ambitious project, they just sit there. You know, you did nothing. Maron. Like, you could be out there fucking climbing up mountains.
Looking real technical, gangster.
Or fucking jacking off a tiger. But now you're just over here saying, bruh, I can't do this shit. But Peter, no, he says, fuck it. As much as it hurts me, I'm gonna make sure that I do it with finesse. I'm gonna make sure I do it right. So, to conclude my part of the video, all I can say is this.
Go put your head in the toilet.
Chapter 10. Holomorphic Functions, Elementary Properties. We shall now start with complex differentiation, defined for a complex function in subsets of the complex plane. It will be convenient to adopt some standard notations which will be used throughout the rest of this book. First we start with the definition of an open disk, which uses the numbers r, which is a positive real number, and a, which is a complex number. Of course, the disk is defined as all the points within distance r of the center A. Now, we define D line as the closure of D, and D prime as the punctured disk with center A and radius r. A set E in a topological space, X, is said to be not connected if E is the unit.
Alex?
Yeah? What?
We're recording the BasedPeter video.
Who the fuck is BasedPeter?
There are many characters in anime, but none are as based as BasedPeter. I'm not ashamed to say that I've lost buckets of cum to this character. Even worse, I've lost valuable time out of my life watching analysis videos of video games that I've never played. Swear to God, I haven't played Hoi 4 in like 5 years, and somehow I sat through the entire Hoi 4 review. So happy anniversary, BasedPeter. Here's to another year of being based.
BasedPeter. Yes, BasedPeter. I met his Slovenian ass at Comic-Con. I was made to go there by the Make-A-Wish Foundation in order to meet sweaty nerds and loners looking for free hugs. For I am an absolute Goliath of a man trying to give frail Slovenians hope. There was one such femboy named Peter. I used him to acquire alcohol, cigarettes, and certain substances. As the sun was setting, I came back to my senses and realized I was high in the absolute shithole that was Luden. This alcohol-induced friendship blossomed into me stealing his cat, Otto von Bismarck, and starting World War III in this godforsaken town. There, we battled crackheads, unknown gods, and Dante from the Devil May Cry series, whom I impaled instantly, as tradition follows. In the end of all that, Peter suffered testicular torsion in battle, almost losing his life. But I saved his beautiful ass and told him to create a YouTube channel in order to pay me back.
Peter. Yes. For a man that I'm fairly certain doesn't know how to read, he's done quite well, somehow having scammed his way into your sub-box, or worryingly gotten to university. His content is great, if you don't mind finding out that art and the human soul have been dead for a long time now. That being said, he puts a lot of time into this. Now, if only he could learn how to tag, optimize audio, basic editing, human decency. Every day I cursed the moment we met. Why had the devil infested my life? Did this stray from the righteous path that I needed such punishment? Here's to you, Pete. I know that recording with the intent of showing it to other people is a lot harder than it seems, and you've been doing that for a decade. That's some dedication, man.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of a gift, as much as I can, at the end. What I'm planning to do in the next few months, I guess, plan for the year, in general, I think I owe it to you to tell you what my intentions are and how you might, be looking forward to that, or, something else is. My projects for the year are 2, but they're big ones, so I don't know if I'll be able to do both of them in this year. One of them is Fallout New Vegas 2, which I won't spoil about, but it's more New Vegas. It was teased at the end of the first New Vegas video. If you stuck around right till the end, where you have Joshua Graham, we're gonna be talking about the DLCs. And the other is the one I think I'm probably gonna do first, unless enough people want the New Vegas video first. Why Yakuza is the perfect trilogy. We're gonna be talking about the Yakuza games, which, if anybody knows me, for the last 6 months I haven't shut up about Yakuza, and it's sort of ruined my life, because I've played 6 of them in the last 2 months. I'll keep on doing the reviews, the serious gaming videos, and the, silly ones, which, ironically enough, I only now realize are labeled as serious reviews as opposed to, the best game ever series, which are labeled as more of a meme-y type video when in fact it's the opposite. And as well, I'll do more JoJo, especially when part 6 comes out. Not because I want my channel to be JoJo-centric, but because, obviously, people still come for JoJo. People are still entertained by the videos I make, and they get a lot of views, and I actually genuinely want to do them. My point, I guess, in this whole video would be, YouTube can be great, but only if you stay true to it, and as cliche as it is, and this is said by many a big YouTuber, don't turn it into a job. You can turn it into a job, right? But what I mean by that is, don't expect to be able to have enough viewers to turn it into a job. I mean, let's be real, half the fucking content on this site shouldn't exist. It's derivative garbage. Don't make derivative garbage. Make sure every one of your videos is either a funny thing you can show to your friends that's relatively unique and you're not just literally copying, right? You can take influences, for God's sake. I copied Seth for my review series. But as you go on, you will find different ways in which you can be unique. And it's fine to start off copying someone. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just make sure it ends into something unique. And even if it is copying, right? Make it a little bit different. Just a little bit every time. You'll end up finding your own style. And that's about it. Wow, this was very shit.